How's it going, everyone? Have quite a few rumors to talk about in this video. A lot of notes on Final Fantasy IX and Final Fantasy X potentially getting remakes. I feel like based on the success of not only the FF7 remake, but remakes as a whole, these two iconic JRPGs will eventually get a remake, but we have a bit of an update on both of them. Speaking of JRPGs, it looks like Persona 6 will not be dropping in 2024. A new Persona game is yet to be announced. It looks like Sega and Atlus are going all in with Persona as a franchise, and honestly, can you really blame them? A lot of mileage to be had with these spin-off titles and everything like that. We have a Persona 5 Tacticia coming out at the end of this year. We have Persona 3 Reload coming out. There's a lot of Persona love coming out in the next couple of years, so I think if you're a fan, there's a lot of reason to be excited. And this rumor kind of just exploded out of nowhere. Red Dead Redemption 3. Guys, we need to talk about people getting overly excited for RDR3. Will it happen? Most likely at some point, but I think you guys can come to the conclusion on why it's probably not that great of an idea to be excited about it, at least at this stage of the game. Alright, first of all, Final Fantasy IX Remake was apparently scheduled for the summer of 2024, but now the project apparently needs a little bit more polishing. Remember that the FF9 Remake is not scheduled to be this gargantuan remake that the FF7 remake is scheduled to be. We had heard it was going to be something like in between Crisis Core and the FF7 remake, which is still, it's going to be a nice remake, and FF9 is a beloved game, and I don't think every remake needs to go the FF7 route. Certainly they do not, and FF9 is a game that I think you could stay true to the original. And yeah, spoiler alert, FF7 goes off the beaten path a little bit, to say the least, and you kind of can tell that with Rebirth as well, the footage we've seen of that and the trailer. But FF9, I feel like you can stick to what made the original game so good. And again, the 9 remake was scheduled for sometime in 2024, and then there were rumblings that the Final Fantasy X remake was going to be scheduled for the 25th anniversary of the original game, which I believe would line up with 2026. But as far as the FF10 remake goes, currently the claim is that there is a very, very small crew working on the title, and even if it is a remake, it's gonna take a couple of years. FF10 is one of those games that I feel like people still play to this day because it is ahead of the PS1 era, and I feel like the PS2 era is that era of games that people can still comfortably go back to and play those games. Once you get to FF7, FF8, and titles like that, from what I've noticed, anecdotally, people find it more difficult to go back to those titles. Although the PS1 Final Fantasy games are arguably the best, and FF7 and FF9, like, yeah, probably that is the case. There's also rumblings that the FF7 remake would come out on the Nintendo Switch successor, which, let's just call it the Switch 2. I don't know why people are that surprised about that fact. Like, every Final Fantasy title outside of Final Fantasy 15 and 13 are available on the Nintendo Switch, right? I mean, like, all of the classic ones are available. So why would it be that much of a surprise that FF7 Remake would be on the Nintendo Switch? 16, 15, and 13 obviously not on the Switch, but the successor, if it's at the power level of a PS4, well, the 7 Remake is a PS4 game. I wouldn't be all too surprised if they decided to port 15 over there, if they decided to port, I don't know if 16 would work on the Switch successor. Like, I don't know the power of the Switch, but at some point, you know, 16's gonna hit PC. If Nintendo ever gets a platform that's as powerful as the PlayStation 5, I'm sure they'll try to get 16 on there as well, but that probably won't be happening for quite a while. But yeah, I don't know why that caused a lot of surprise out of people that the 7 Remake would be on the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I could see that, no problem, coming in the Nintendo Switch. The timed exclusivity period has expired, unless there's some sort of console timed exclusivity, or console exclusivity in general that's attached to it, but I don't think that's the case. And I do think, honestly speaking, 7 Remake will eventually end up on Xbox as well. I think based on the fact 14 is going to Xbox, 7 Remake at some point will go to Xbox as well, and I think it should. Like, yo, you want to get more people exposed to that game. Speaking of JRPGs, I'm a Hero 2 spoke a little bit about Persona 6, and apparently Persona 6 is not going to be released during 2024. That's not all too surprising to me. I don't think P3R and Persona 6 would be dropping in the same year. I'm thinking Persona 6 is going to be a 2025, 2026 title. Like, I think this game still needs a lot of time in the oven, and the fact is, remember when Persona 5 was initially announced? It still took quite a while after the initial announcement of Persona 5 for the game to come out. I want to say P5 was announced in 2015, and then it didn't come out until early 2017. We're seeing games get announced earlier and earlier these days, so you know, 2025, 2026 makes sense for P6 to me. Maybe fall of 2025 is where the Persona 6 would come out, I should say. And then apparently there's another Persona title in the works. They're gonna do spin-offs left and right. There's a lot of mileage, and the Persona fans, what I've noticed is they are some of the most hardcore fans of that franchise that you are going to find. The Persona community is absolutely wild, and yeah, you put something out, and they're probably gonna buy it. Why do you think P3R is $70? No, they're gonna get away with that. Are you kidding me? Everybody's gonna buy that, or at least that hardcore Persona audience is 100% gonna buy it, and then it'll eventually go on sale, and then other people will buy it as well. Like, I don't think there is too much worry on that being $70. Like, I think a remake of a PS2 game being $70 is wild. There's the argument that, hey, you're gonna get north of 80 hours of gameplay out of it. You know, whatever. Your argument is your argument. Lastly, there's rumblings going around about Red Dead Redemption 3. The leak comes courtesy of My Time to Shine H on Twitter, who does a lot of various leaks. Also claimed that a Hogwarts Legacy sequel was in development. Look, Red Dead Redemption 3 is probably something Rockstar is thinking about, but guys, you can't get overly excited about that at this stage of the game. The only thing I'm thinking about is, where is this game gonna take place in the timeline? And I actually really think the idea of doing prequel after prequel with RDR, that's a cool way to go about things, because if you played RDR 2, obviously, there's a prequel to be had in that game with the Vanderlyn gang and what they were doing prior to the start of RDR 2. There's a lot of exploration to be had, and I think, you know, Red Dead Redemption 3, if it is a prequel, that would be pretty cool. But GTA 6 is probably going to come out in the fall of next year. That's going to be a big game. They're going to get a lot of mileage out of that. They're going to update that game to infinity and beyond and just rake in the cash. The fact is, from GTA 5 to Red Dead Redemption 2, what was it? It was 5 years. From Red Dead Redemption 1 to GTA 5, it was 3 years. And now, from Red Dead Redemption 2 to GTA 6, it is 6 years. So, let me rephrase that. RDR to GTA 5, 3.5 years. GTA 5 to RDR 2, that was 5 years. And now, RDR 2 to GTA 6 is 6 years. Every development cycle is getting appreciably lengthier and lengthier. So, if past is prologue and GTA 5 comes out in the fall of 2024, Red Dead Redemption 3 at the earliest would be a 2030 game, guys. A 2030 game. Let us make it to 2030. We have much bigger fish to fry. We gotta make it to 2030, baby. You know, don't get too excited for this just because it's gonna be a long, long time until the game comes out, so just know what you're getting yourself into when there's a lot of rhetoric online about this. Look, we can talk about Persona 6 coming out in 2025 or 2026, but when we're talking about 2030 games, like, come on, man, like, what are we doing here? Red Dead Redemption is one of my favorite franchises of all time, and obviously, if I make it to 2030, I'll be incredibly excited for RDR 3, but we're not gonna play it anytime in the near future, so it's hard to get overly excited about it. But that'll do it for me, guys. Again, Final Fantasy IX Remake looks like that might be pushed a little bit. FF10 Remake probably a ways out as well. Persona 6 not looking to come in 2024, but, you know, a lot of Persona love on the way. And RDR 3, it might be talked about within Rockstar, but I wouldn't expect to play this game until 2030. So, yeah, that'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.